in the mail MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail those shoot 'em ups, that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update for October 2023. A few days late because we've had a few local calamities. Unfortunately my wife slipped over about 3 weeks ago and broke her little toe, which makes it very, she has been able to put a foot in a shoe until this week, so I've had to drive her everywhere and lots of other things going on, so it sort of completely curtailed my time to make videos, so I do apologise for a bit of blank space there, but these things happen. And it was a very busy month. I mean, at the start of last month we went to PAX Oz over in Melbourne. That's my wife and my youngest daughter, and we had an absolute blast. Met up with lots of people. My feet were absolutely killing me by the end, but had lots of good fun. My good local friend Aaron basically was in charge of the retro area this year. He was marshalling all the things. He took over a lot of his own personal gear, along with gear donated by some of the other guys. I've done a separate video on that if you haven't seen that, so I'll leave a link down below for that. Now I just showed what was at the show with that video, so in this we'll cover the pickups that I got at the show. And I mean, look, I don't go to PAX to buy stuff, it's mainly for playing and looking at stuff, but I did buy well, in the gaming section, because I do like you know, board games and card games. On the very first day, and you've got to get in quick with these, they had mystery boxes. So they're basically you know, a reasonable sized cardboard box. There are guaranteed to be 3 games in each, and you just pick them up, shake them, so that one feels heavy, and you pick them out and you buy it, and it costs you $30. So I can't tell you exactly. I've got 6, so we bought 2 boxes, so we got 6 games. I can't tell you which 3 were in each, but we got some pretty good ones. Probably one of my favourite ones, because I like Doctor Who, was Doctor Who Don't Blink. Now once again, as you can see, they're in the shrink wrap. I have not had a chance to open any of these and play them yet, and I'll probably take them down to my holiday home and read them properly, and we'll play some over the holidays that are coming up. Now that looks interesting. Hopefully, you know, a fairly quick game. That one. This one's called Welcome to Your Perfect Home. Become an architect in America. So that one's also relatively interesting. Then we have a Rolling Realms, which is a dice game. Still bit of heft in there, lots of cards. Some of these. So this is, and this one is Dice Flick, another dice game. This is actually lighter than that last one. And I said I can't tell you too much about them because I haven't opened them. Now one of the big ones, so each one of these was in a box each. So this is a you know, world building sort of strategy one. It's Imperial Steam. It weighs a lot. So we got these on the first day, then had to carry the boxes around. Luckily we knew people in the retro area and they let them leave us there, and then we had to carry them back to our hotel room, and our bags were packed to capacity all the way back. We actually bought a suitcase. And the final one, Dinosaur Island, which my second eldest daughter, who's mad on dinosaurs and is a geologist, wants to play when she comes over, and she's actually coming over from Western Australia in a couple of days. Looking forward to seeing her, and she'll no doubt want to play this dinosaur game. So they're all the games. I think that was pretty good for basically $60 all up for those 6 games. Obviously have had no chance to play them. Now the other pickup, so the one thing I bought, this was on special at PAX, on special. The other ones were normal price, but this is the 8-bit Dough arcade stick. So the specific ones for the PlayStation and Xbox were normal price, but they had this one marked down. I think it was it was only $129, which is quite cheap. I could not build an arcade stick of this, quality for this amount of money. Show you the back of the box. So I've taken it out of the box, that's why this is so light. I've been playing it, I've used it on my Switch so far, so it actually has two modes, Switch mode and Windows mode. So this is the stick here. So nice clicky joystick and quite reasonable buttons. Once again, I haven't tried it in PC mode. The next Tubers High School Challenge is a shoot 'em up, and I'm going to see if this assists, because that's what I don't have, is a decent USB joystick. Sorry, my pinball machine was making noises, and you can run it in 2.4 gigahertz or Bluetooth, or you can physically plug it in as well. So it actually has a battery and charges, and so at the moment it's off. You put it to S for Switch and X, which means Windows or Xbox, I suppose. X means and there's a left side dual player, right side. There's various other buttons you can use for things, and it works reasonably well. I was playing. I've got the Darius collection on the Switch, and I was playing that using this, and it actually worked quite well. I was quite pleased, and I do have a few shoot 'em ups on the Switch, and I think this will be the best way to play them. But I am looking forward to trying this out on the Windows PC and seeing what it's like with Mate. And it's got a good heft, which is what you need when you're in the action. You do not want it to move around when you're blasting the aliens. So very pleased to get that. Once again, that also added to the weight of the stuff that we had to bring back from Melbourne in our luggage. But I said we didn't get it. We didn't go over the limit. Now I have one more pickup here, and then we'll have to slight cut because I've left one on the other side of the room. This only just snuck it into the month. I finally got to go to our second-hand bookstore, which also sells new books. Now this particular book, I had the original version when I was a kid. So this is a reprint of Osborne Book of the Future. So the internal contents is exactly the same as the original version. I think mine back in the day was a paperback, not a hardback. And I had this one, and I think I might. So this is the future, and they've got three more on the back: robots, future season, star travel. I think I might have had the star travel one. So inside, other than the forward, the rest of the contents is all original, as it was printed back in the day. So it's really interesting to see what sort of things that they were talking about. This is what's going to happen in the future, and inspired me as a kid and how many of them came true. So it's actually a really good book, and £12.99 and $20.99 Canadian. What did I pay? Well, I got a discount off this. It was $24.95 from my local bookshop, but he always gives me 10 or 20% off, so I would have only paid about $20. And I have almost finished reading that again, and very much enjoying it. The one other pickup, and once again I got it, and I haven't had a chance to play with it. So one of my friends, who's now moved to the north of the States, PlayStation 2 broke down. We have quite a few PlayStation 2 fats because basically all of my girls had one in their room as a DVD player, and I used it as a system for a very long time. So I said, yes, I'm sure I've got a spare one. So I got all of my PlayStation 2s out, and I've tidied one up for him, and then remembered. So I've got two with the network adapters with the that have IDE hard drives in them, and both of the IDE hard drives have died. And one of the friends was mentioning that you can get a modern version of that that allows you to plug in SATA. So not that I've had a chance to try it. So this is the modern R-Geek network adapter, and you can see I've got a SATA SSD on there. So you just plug that into the back of the PlayStation 2, and I do have a boot memory card, but I got this in the bundle. It was only another couple of dollars. So what was that, a 512 gigs? So plug that into a PlayStation 2, plug that in, and suck some discs in, and then you'll have a PlayStation 2 with most of the all the PlayStation 2 games you want to play, with no spinning hard drive, so it'll use less power, and very useful system. So not for here, because I actually have a PlayStation 3 Fat Original Edition, which has the PlayStation 2 chip in it, but this, one of the network PS2s was down at my holiday home, so that's where this is going to go, and that'll make it more reliable, and you know, doesn't use much power and things like that, and I can enjoy replaying some of my PlayStation 2 games when I'm on holidays. Alright, so we do have now I got a couple of arcade PCBs when I swapped from Aaron. One of them is Silkworm, which I've actually only ever played probably played the Amiga version and maybe the Commodore 64 version. So I'm not very familiar with the arcade game. It is playing back then, but I will do a walk around the room to just give you a bit of a show. As I said, I'm not very good at it yet. He also gave me a Shadow Dancer PCB as well. Now that one is turning on and it has lots of graphical issues, so I need to repair that board. So I swapped him an old PC, and plus I think I owe him $40 or something like that in the trade. So I'm very happy with that. I've got one working game and another one I can work away at it. I actually really like ninja games. I have Shinobi as a PCB, although I haven't used it for a little while because it originally came in that one that was the Bosconian, and it's a Sega 16 one, and I haven't made an adapter up yet, and I rewired that cabinet. Shadow Dancer is a jammer one though, so I don't need to do any rewiring, and obviously this is the sequel to Shinobi. So yeah, I like ninja games and I'm looking forward to playing that one, but I have to fix it first. Alright, so what we'll do, I'll go to handheld mode and we'll talk about the arcade repairs that I've managed to do so far. So we'll just start on the Hell Fire cabinet, because I am going to make a specific video on this of the progress, but I have put brand new control panels on here. Well, not new second-hand replacements from a gentleman in Canada. I'm going to do a specific video. They're all wired up with the original wires, and I'm putting the sandwich board together behind me. This is the unit I'm repairing for the neighbour. I can now get to it, and I need to recap. The chassis just got vertical collapse, and I have all the capacitors now. I just haven't started on that. His Arkanoid cabinet is all fixed, runs really well, nice picture, sound works. I fixed even put a new marquee light in for him, and he's coming to pick up this weekend. Obviously Bosconian, Tutankhamun, Choplifter, and here I've put the Silkworm game in the Neo Geo system because it was the easiest to do. I honestly am pretty terrible at it so far, but it's an interesting new shoot 'em up to try, so I've just taken out my Neo Geo games at the moment. I haven't done anything to the Street Fighter, and it needs to be recapped, so you can see the screen moves to the right, and I just need to sort out some wiring issues because you can't, even though there's a credit in there, you can't start the game. The ugly cab, obviously I got the coin mech. Now the screen, even though it was recapped by somebody else, is still doing this, and eventually the screen will turn off. So I need to figure out what that is. It might be a power regulator, maybe, don't know. This end of the room hasn't changed, so Raiden's still running a TV. The replacement bits and pieces are down there, I haven't got to that yet. Fireshark's good virtual pinball there. So this is the new one. I've shown this previously, sorry it gets bad reflection. I have just put some scramble artwork in those things, took out that paperwork. I needed to take some of the black off the glass here, which has been painted in a strange spot at some stage. But other than that, as you can see, the screen looks pretty good. Maybe some little focus issues that I haven't adjusted, but this wasn't working at all before, so I'm very pleased that I recut. So this was just a screen and chassis lying around. I still have a bit more wiring to tidy up. I've taken the protective thing off the power supply there. I switched power supplies because I had a little problem with the adjuster on that one, and there needs to be a board in there to put the PCB on so you don't touch anything, and maybe a couple of screws and things like that. And I need to finish off the coin area. There's a button there. I need to put a panel in there and put a button. So that one's just about all done. All these buttons work. I need to find another one of these for the other side because the plastic rim is broken and I need a player 2 button. But I'll find them at some stage, but that's a working cocktail cabinet. And I'll obviously put locks and things like that in it. And my other machines are working fine. Alright, back to me. Right, back sitting down. Yes, so the final thing is I finished writing my book, my next book, Classic Game Programming for the NES. And it's been launched to, this is with an official publisher called Manning. And it's been released to MEAP, which is Manning Early Access Program, where you can go online and buy a copy of the book and read it as it's been published so far. There's 9 chapters have been uploaded, and there should be, probably by the time most people watch this, there should be chapters 10 and 11. I finished writing all the way up to there's 16 chapters plus 3 appendixes. They're all written, going through the last half of the book's going through its 3 peer review, as it's called. Now we launched the book during October. Obviously that was Halloween. They had a Halloween special on, and I'm very, very surprised that my book was actually #1 at Manning for the month of October, beating out 2 AI books of all things. So it proves that retro is definitely very popular and is better than mucking around with AI. There you go. The book's got off to a very good start. Obviously, it's only really the start, and the book, we are obviously working towards the physical print edition. But the really good way with how Manning work is that you have the early access program, people can sign in, start reading the book, and they can start commenting. And if they find anything wrong, there's a forum, you can post the comments or any suggestions, and I'm happy to include the book, and it becomes an evolving thing. We've already made some corrections to chapter 2, just on various other tile editors and things like that are available. I've also been posting a couple of forums while I was finishing off chapter 16, because in chapter 16 we talk about publishing your title, so I needed a list of publishers and part suppliers, and I've made several edits there based on community feedback, and it's been a really good fun experience writing the book. It's taken about a year from woe to go, and I believe my writing has skills and technique has improved throughout the whole process. And it's really good to have the book out there and to have sold, quite a large number of the book, enough to beat 2 other books, or I suppose 9 other books. It's in the top 10. I will put a picture of the top 10 up there so you can see. Could have blown me away. I had 0 expectations of how many copies we're going to sell, especially up against other titles from the publishing company. So the publisher is of course very pleased, and we'll be doing some more marketing efforts. Now, really, obviously it does take a little while to get the print edition done and to get everything finalised, but we're pushing that through, and Christmas is in the way. But I would really like to have physical copies available, and then potentially be able to go to the Game On Expo over in Arizona, and launch the physical version of the book over there in the US, which is where the main market is, of course. And also, by that time, also have Sydney Hunter Caverns and the Caverns of Death of the NES in physical form, ready for people to grab. Now, John Lester, Gamester 81, who runs the Game On Expo, has already said he's happy to have me over, and he'll sort out my accommodation for me, which is really appreciated. I just need to find appropriate flights. It is a long way from not only Australia, but I'm down in Tasmania, across 22 and a half hours it'll take me to get there. And I lose virtually an entire day coming back because of the time zones, but that's okay. I should be fine getting the time off work, and it'll be great to finally get over to the US and see one of these wonderful conventions that I see so much about. You guys are very lucky over there with the number of conventions you have, it'll be good to meet up with the rest of the ColecoVision crew as well, because I've never met any of them in person. So that's about all. Obviously the book is now completely finished, other than minor edits to come back, so that'll be less of a distraction. My next push will be to get those last couple of bugs out of Sydney Hunter, and we'll get through another run of tests of testing, and we should be good to go. And then I'm going to swing back to my own titles. I have several titles that are almost finished and ready for the testing phase for the ColecoVision MSX and Spectravideo, and I'll try and get some of those available so they can be, they can be presents underneath people's tree at Christmas. We shall see how we go. Alright, I hope everybody out there is enjoying both their retro and modern games. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.